What's going on, everyone? My name is Dominic Delgado. Welcome back to the channel and to another video. In today's video, I wanted to talk about Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. We have seen the market pull back significantly in the past week, going from the 44.50 range down to the 26 range now. In my prior video, I did mention that buying in at the 25 mark at the time was a steal and we would not revisit these levels. And we did have a temporary bounce down to the 24.90 range this morning. Had a nice recovery back up to the 28, almost 29 range, and sold off throughout the day to 26.39, ending at 26.39, and after hours is pretty low volume, keeping the same price range throughout the end of the day. So some things I wanted to cover in today's video was talking about the lawsuit that Palantir is going through. On top of that, the partnership with 3M, the COVID-19 deal they're having in the UK, the speculative rumors we have seen with Palantir for the stimulus bill, unusual options plays we have seen for the March 19th and further out plays as well. Just a overall recap of the market for today. Dow Jones did end up down a couple hundred points in the morning and recovered significantly, reaching all-time highs for the year, making the overall market turn green. But we did see with Palantir having their shareholder lockup, and on top of that their COO selling more shares, and a potential lawsuit they're facing, we did see a little drop in today's price. But some common things you can see with the stock is it is a hyper growth stock, and with that, many times articles come out to kind of delete the noise of the good term. Some things we tend to see with the stock is the good amount of Palantir contracts that come out. Articles will be released to kind of mitigate that, to make it sound like they aren't doing as well. Coming over to the article, the COO selling $21.5 million in shares. He sold on February 19th through the 23rd at prices ranging from $24.59 to $29 a share. Proceeds about $21.5 million. In this amount of money is a lot for them to take for free shares that they initially got for working at the company. But in total, for the amount of shares he owns still, it is not a significant amount. Synccar now owns 2.8 million shares in the data analytics company Palantir, and this isn't counting the 1 million shares he owns in two other accounts. Like you can see, this is all short-term noise. They tend to make it seem way out of proportion of him selling his whole portfolio, but in terms of 2 million shares and more, 757,000 shares isn't that many compared to what he owns in the business. Moving on to the NHS lawsuit and what it means for Palantir in the short term. So NHS is a national health service in the European market that keeps track of the COVID-19 patients. Essentially what Palantir does for this company is they allow them to track the COVID-19 with people's information. And the scare that NHS has right now is that Palantir has too much data for the people who have COVID-19. But when we see with this company having all the data they use on a day-to-day basis, this is very common because Palantir uses this data to analyze everything that's going on, either being in corporate industries or the government industry. So them saying that Palantir has too much data is kind of irrelevant because they need this data to do their job. But the good news we did see today with Palantir is they did join forces with 3M. 3M is a huge company that does multiple things and are consistently growing on a day-to-day basis to do new products. So Palantir revealed a multi-million-dollar expansion of its collaboration with no other than 3M. 3M will expand the use of Palantir Foundry platform during its undergoing digital transformation to build a dynamic supply chain and be able to respond to changes in demand across tens of thousands of products. Palantir stock has been under pressure lately of insiders as they sold the shares, like we were talking about the COO selling a small portion of his shares after the lockup period has expired. So as we know, multiple companies are transitioning to the online resources. You can see this with FedEx, Amazon, Google, all going to online products. And this is no different with 3M. Again, 3M will be expanding on its undergoing digital transformation, which in essence is the future for most of these companies. And we can see this also with the partnership they were talking about further down in the article. Amazon, Google, and Microsoft are urging 3M to step away from the deal with Palantir, but I don't think that these companies really understand what Palantir can offer for them in the data analytics field. And as we know, Palantir's main source of income is through government funding. Their most recent ones have been with ICE, the FDA, and the US military. So we've already seen in the past year with Palantir, they have gotten small contracts throughout different countries. along with bigger contracts like the Rio Tinto, IBM, and many others this year. If we can continue to see contracts come out this often with this company, these run-ups to 45 will be small compared to the ones we can see. So I did stumble across this on Reddit. It was a title saying 500 million allocated for data modernization and forecasting center. This is on the stimulus plan that they have for the bill to pass this weekend. And it says, in addition to amounts of otherwise available, there is appropriated to the Secretary for fiscal year 2021 out of any money in the Treasury and otherwise appropriated. 500 million is to remain available until expended for activities to be conducted acting through the Director of Centers of Disease Control Prevention to support public health and data surveillance and analytics infrastructure modernization and establish, expand, and maintain efforts to modernize the United States disease warning system. So with the plans of the data modernization, you can come over and look at Palantir with their Foundry platform and what it does to help with the public sector in health. Combating the outbreak, we see they are working in the public health sector, along with that the medical supply chain and the hospitals. So they are not only helping people with the COVID-19, but they are also helping the vaccine roll out in a steady form. And on top of that, keep track of the patients inside the hospitals to maintain a safe environment. Coming over to the contracts for the March 19th in specific, we do see 65,000 people are holding a 35 contract call with implied volatility of 123%. This was down 7% today, so that means you can buy it for a cheaper price now if you are willing to do this call. Me personally, I am holding a March 19th call for $40. If we scroll down here, there are 56,000 people holding this as well. Today's volume, 4,299 contracts were sold or bought today. And the further you go down on the contract list, the cheaper they get. But the implied volatility is higher, meaning it is more likely to lose money if the price doesn't go in the overall uptrend. But I'd like to know if you guys can go and leave a comment down below. What time did you guys buy Palantir? Do you think we could see Palantir be implemented in bigger companies such as Amazon and Google? And do you think the overall noise of Palantir's company with the lawsuit and the selling of shares is an overall factor to keep the share down, or do you think it'll go up in the next couple of days? That's all I've got for you guys in today's video. If you did enjoy, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.